all your product, that you'll be able to have it all in your shop within 10 minutes so that you're done and dusted. It means that the crafting will take longer, but it does mean that you're not running back and forwards from a craft book to a store with 5 items and stuff like that. So I know that'll be greatly welcomed by a lot of people, especially in the food industry. That's for sure. Has anyone else got any questions on that? The craft book, which I just sort of touched base on. We don't know the complete ins and outs of it. We haven't sort of finalised it. This is very much an early work in progress, although Neff has done an amazing job and he's sort of had it done within 24 hours on one side of it, just with all the tweaks and all the beautifying that it's going to be. What you see in the sneaks and peeks is not what it's going to look like. It just gives you an idea of where we're heading, what we're sort of looking at. Clara's working really hard on getting it to look nice. So that is, I don't know. And I can't sort of give you a time frame, but I can tell you that it's sooner rather than later. It won't be too far away.
But not necessarily with the amount of times I start again.
Yeah, that's right. Are you on shout?
I am on shout.
Oh, okay. That's all right. I just must be deaf in that ear.
That's all right. I just don't yell.
Yell, please.
Yell, please.
It's all right, Annie. I said it might just take a while with the amount of times I start again.
She's just not happy. She's fussy with the
I've
artwork.
already started 8 times again today.
I think it looks amazing, but nope.
No, shit, no. We don't go with what Dawn says. No.
Okay. I don't have a creative bone in my body. Don't worry about that. That looks good. No, it doesn't. Oh, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Okay, so yeah, that's where we are looking at there. Now you would have seen on the pinboard a few days ago that the law has been extremely busy over the past week with getting a lot of tip-offs, a lot of investigating on their own behalf, and getting rid of pretty much every illegal thing that's able to be done in county. So with that being said, that'll be out of county for 7 days, so another 5 days. And then every single illegal item or illegal thing to do in county is going to be put back in. So then it's just another, find it, see what you can do, learn how to use it and all that sort of stuff. So there's nothing
back in. Does it get put back in a different location, correct?
Absolutely. Yep. So it's just a start. You're starting from scratch now. And then once they get back in, it also becomes a find it again situation for the law. Because if the law then find it, that item disappears, then, like if they come across a weed growing spot, then of course that will disappear. If they come across, they have to, apply for a warrant to have that removed with me. And then, there's a process, there's paperwork involved, which we have filed, and things get removed, and then they'll go in at a later date. So there might look like there's not a lot out there at the moment, but trust me, in 5 days it's all going back in again. So just hold tight on that. It just happened to happen all in a few nights of finding all of this stuff and getting it all sort of taken away. Anybody got any questions on the illegal stuff? Annie, was that just you standing up?
I didn't mean to stand up. I panicked.
Right, I'm just going to touch back on something that we had in county a while back. That pretty much got shut down pretty quickly. But we just want to, I think I'm going to put it back to the vote on these walkie-talkies. Okay, now, I know a lot of people didn't like it.
Hang on, for anyone that doesn't know what she is talking about. Oh, Annie, can you hear me? This here is what she's talking about.
That is the walkie-talkie, okay? It's nothing discreet. It's something that you actually pull out of your pocket. It's very similar. You're on a channel. Your channel you can hear from one end of the map to the other. You can create your groups, and everybody, anybody that's from the future will know what we're talking about. Works on the similar system. We did bring them in, but we had a lot of people that didn't like it, a lot of law that didn't like it, although we've spoken to the law, like we've brought it up with a few of the law that we've got now and said that, the benefits from it. But as far as Clara and myself go, we are 50-50. I couldn't care less if they come back, but then I couldn't care if they came in as well. So I think it's important that we bring it back to the community. When I do put up the poll for the votes, it has to be a clear-cut winner. We're not going to disgruntle a pile of people just for the few that do want it. But bear in mind that if we do bring them in and then there is a lot of problems we have, then we can remove them again. So yeah, it's just something else to think about. I just think that the people that really didn't want it are no longer around, and maybe it's time to see if it's something that people want to have in county.
Would they remain like a really expensive item to obtain?
Yes, we sold them for $2,000 each. It wasn't out of reach, but it was definitely, not something that everybody can sort of have, and they were an item that could not be stolen from your pockets. So yeah,
So at the moment, there is what, 4 radios in county,
yes, it
and
is, and
that's
that's
purely
admin.
just the admin have them.
Yeah. So what it is like if Miss Molly's got one and we've got one channel, and that is purely if she goes to a report and she needs to ask a question, then we're right there on hand, and we can answer that question. And
Because
that's
let's be
the
honest, Molly needs all the help she can get.
Molly.
but yeah, that's the only reason they've been used at the moment, and we still do utilize them really well. I'd love the idea of the medics having them for that reason as well, so they can keep in contact, but then we're saying that then it should be the law, but we wouldn't have the law having them unless the criminals are allowed to have them as well. So there's a whole range of people that would be good to have them, but I think it needs to be across the board or not at all. So yeah. Has anyone got any more questions on those?
What if they
Okay, so
were
we'll put
like
up a poll. We will be looking at who is actually giving their opinion on that poll, because we have to
was
see.
just asking a question, I think.
Oh, sorry, you might just want to flex that F11 so we can all hear.
I was just saying, what if it was a stationary thing where we could actually go to one place and make that call rather than carry it?
Yeah, there is actually a telephone script that we can get, which you'll notice there's telephones around the place. There's like Blackwater Saloon, there's certain ones in certain towns that you can ring people from, but I don't know, because you'd have to make sure that person was at the other end at that time, and to me there'd have to be some form of meta, I guess, for that to happen. And I know that a lot of people use these walkie-talkies to say, well, that's it's stupid. You're talking to that person from there to there, and then all we could say was, let's be honest, how many people are not in third-party chats in this county? Okay, as much as we say you're not allowed to do it, we know it's happening. Where we felt when the walkie-talkies came out, there was less of it. It was out in the open. What they were saying was through walkie-talkies, and if someone's around the corner and hears what you've got to say, then it's in game. It's not a meta. So it was sort of a way for us to try and eliminate the third party chats, because of course we can't monitor them. We just hope that people are honest. But yeah, we just wondered if that was some way that people would enjoy having it in county and not sort of out there. So the stationary ones, I don't know how they would work in a sense.
I'd say like the stationary ones would normally be only to call out. Like just say, for instance, there was something happening on at Blackwater. Someone uses that phone to call the doctor up or call someone else with a walkie-talkie, rather than them calling that stationary spot. That only works one way. Call
Yeah.
out rather than ringing.
Oh, a one-way walkie-talkie where. Oh.
So how would that relate to them, though? Like, you meaning so that when they've got them in their pocket, they can't talk out, they can just receive it? Is that what you're saying?
That'd be
It could
cool.
work on that. But I was more or less saying, like, if for emergency purposes, whether like someone needs a doctor or the sheriff needs to be in town, they can actually go to that phone, call out to those contacts, and then they'll get the message and be able to report on it.
That's
So
sort of
like
what
a
the
action
alert
with the
law
alert
and the
law.
alert medic
Yeah.
is that we've got now. But
Yeah, okay.
that pretty much covers that. Plus, it also gives them a detailed spot on the map of where they are. I was more meaning like the medics. When you get a few medics out there and all of a sudden you've got someone that's in Valentine busy, you don't know that they're busy, you got someone in Blackwater and there's a call out in Strawberry. The person in Valentine can say, hey, I'm just in the middle of surgery, I can't take that. And then the one in Blackwater says, yep, I'll take it. You know, like
Yeah.
that communication to me is key for these medics not having to travel round and round and round and round. And I just think that that would sort of eliminate that side of things and create a little bit more on the RP side of things. And I know people say there wasn't walkie-talkies back in 1901. There was communications in that sense. They were big boxes. I don't know if anybody's seen the pictures from World War One. Even yes, I think they were invented like 6 years after this time. But there was a type of device that they could call around in and use for communication. So it's not completely out of this world as to some of the stuff we do have in county. But then we don't want to ruin people's role play and immersion by bringing them in as well. So that's why it's important that it's actually a community thing and not just something that we want to have in county. I mean, they're there, they're ready to go, they work really well. The unfortunate thing I think people found was they are so clear that the person sounds like they're actually standing behind you when they're talking in it. And it can sort of be a little bit daunting to start with, but yeah, it's something that we can work on if people are wanting it back in county, and that's why I said the votes that do come in we will look at the people that are voting, and we will not be including anybody that is not active in the county at present, because we sort of want to hear the people that are in here all the time, rather than people that haven't been in for a month or two. So.
Does that mean someone that can listen, that can actually hear the other person on the walkie-talkie, or just the one speaking?
Just the one speaking. So they'll
Okay.
hear one side of the conversation.
Yep.
Yeah. So it hasn't actually got a microphone. It's just purely, it's one way
right.
that you can hear. Yep. Any more questions on that? So we'll chuck a poll up, and your opinion matters. So if you can just let us know what you think, and we'll go from there. I think that's pretty much it for updates where we are at. We've got a lot going on in the background, a lot, like I keep saying, but we don't want to sort of bring it all out and give you any indication too much at a time, just due to the fact that, we need to make sure everything's working right, and that when we bring it in, it's not having to have too many issues and people don't get excited over something that may not end up coming in. Please remember there is a event in 40 minutes at Emerald. If you have not registered, jump on the events area in the newspaper and make sure you register under the Lasso Challenge. It's a 1v1. 2 people go head to head. And then it's just the winners go up against each other until there's a winner at the end. Nellie, do you know what the prizes are for tonight?
Yeah, I'm just going to do money because there's a few new people, so hopefully that gets some money towards a gun or a nice horse. So there's $2,000 up for first prize, 1,000 for second, 500 for an all-in winner.
Okay.
And Austin has also put forward a gun as the secondary prize.
Okay, well there you go, guys. You go win some good prizes. 2,000 is a very good prize for first place. So yeah, if you want to be in it, you need to register, because Nellie does have to do a draw. So we don't want to be leaving that till the last minute. So make sure you get your name down in there.
Whereabouts is that in the events? I've just looked and I can't locate it.
Okay, so if you go to the events in the newspaper, and then there'll be one dated the 25th. So it says May the 25th. That's the Lasso Showdown, which is today.
It's
Straight
in the
under.
chat.
You might have to go along and turn on certain channels in the Discord because I had some turned off by default for whatever reason.
Mm.
So just go
Yeah,
up
I
to the
can't see
server
the queue
settings.
events.
Oh, yeah, I found it. I've got it.
Yeah,
Cool,
so
cool.
if you